first things first, you're going to want to obtain MS-DOS games.
Let's get to the real meat and potatoes of the meeting. All right. Welcome to the stream, everybody. I know it's been a long time, but at least a long time in internet time. It's been a couple of weeks. But I had my reasons for it, and most of that is I'm just going to boil down to taking care of my mental health so that I don't, do something stupid. So here I am, and let's just go ahead and get right into it, because I'm not one for wasting time when I actually get to working. One thing I did forget to go ahead and throw in really quick, and this is mostly going to be a placeholder, is the intro clip. So I'm going to go ahead and put that there. And let's go ahead and just play. Hello everyone, my name is Tyson, and welcome to another episode of Kojima's Deception. In today's episode, we'll be covering the series of tweets that Kojima is calling Hideo's Musings, where he is asked a question and answers a question. It's done as an image rather than being limited to Twitter's 250 character limit for tweets. This was going to be about more than just his musings, but he's put out so many of them that I'm having a hard time keeping up. In fact, I missed 3 of them by the time everything was said and done, and I 100% blame Twitter and its shitty post delivery service where it delivers, quote, what's hot, versus showing you things in the chronological order they were posted. While I have to rely on Twitter, that doesn't make it any less frustrating when stuff like this happens. As a result, this was written somewhat out of order. You okay, buddy? What's up? Okay? Okay. Oh. What's up? Some water or something. Every once in a while, my cat will kind of have like an asthma attack kind of thing. I don't really know what else to define it as. And it hasn't been documented, so I can't really say it with the proper diagnosis, but yeah. He hasn't done that in a long time, though. Like, I would say several months. It might be stress-based, I don't know. Anyway, sorry. Search. Had a hell of a time out of order as I wrote 1 through 14 minus 6, 8, and 9, then realized I missed 3 of them by the time everything. I'm thinking I can. In fact, I missed 3 of his musings, but he's put out so many of them that I'm having a hard time keeping up. And it was going to be about more than just his musings, but he's put out so many of them that I'm having a hard time keeping up. I think I might just cut out like all of that. 6, 8, and 9, then realized I missed those 3 after doing some digging with the Twitter advanced search. White. Had a hell of a time doing it too. Okay. So that should probably of them that I'm having a hard time keeping up. That said, let's roll the intro real quick and then we'll discuss. Okay. Yeah, that 30 seconds, much better than a minute and a half for the intro. And we'll go ahead and just slap that right there. No. Give that a little bit of breathing room. I don't think many people. Yes. Okay. So generally speaking, for the intro bits, I just kind of throw some sort of cutscene or gameplay. In this case, I think I'm just going to throw some gameplay. Yeah, we'll just go with that. That should be plenty. Actually, that's too much. And because it's 21:9, we'll go ahead and just crop that down. Hello everyone, my name is Tyson, and welcome to another episode of Kojima's Deception. It's going to be a little choppy in the, oh, actually it's because it's building the peaks. But it might still be a little bit choppy even after it finishes building the peaks, because I've noticed that for whatever reason, if I record using NVIDIA Shadowplay or GeForce Shadowplay, then a problem is that when I throw it into Vegas, it ends up having somewhat choppy visuals, and actually it can also lead to a glitched render. So what I may end up having to do is make a conversion of all of my raw recordings and use the converted ones. Let's see. In today's episode, we'll be covering the series of tweets that Kojima is calling Hideo's Musings, where he is asked a question and answers a question. It's done as an image rather than being limited to Twitter's 250 character limit for tweets. This was going to be about more than just his musings, but he's put out so many of them that I'm having a hard time keeping up. That said, let's roll the intro real quick and then we'll discuss. Give that a good fade out. Discuss. The intro real quick and then we'll discuss. And also I need some music. I think I'm probably gonna have to pick up a sound interface before long. Is it still? Okay. I wasn't sure if it was still freaking out or not. It does that every once in a while now. It's a lot more frequent than it used to be, and it used to be only when I would touch a wire that it would freak out, but now it's just like, oh, it's been a few hours, time to have a fucking shit fit. Anyway, I'm just gonna throw the whole goddamn soundtrack into Vegas. Jesus Christ. Okay, I'm setting my phone on my bed so that I don't hear it anymore. Yo, Alvin. Good to see you, dude. Now let's see. What song? Probably the theme song. We'll just do that. And we'll go ahead and set that to about -23. Hello everyone, my name is Tyson, and welcome to another episode of Kojima's Deception. In today's episode, we'll be covering the series of tweets that Kojima is calling Hideo's Musings, where he is asked a question and answers a question. It's done as an image rather than being limited to Twitter's 250 character limit for tweets. This was going to be about more than just his musings, but he's put out so many of them that I'm having a hard time keeping up. That said, let's roll the intro real quick and then we'll discuss. What? I did not add that fucking effect. Go away. Thank you. Hello everyone, my name is Tyson, and welcome to another episode of Kojima's Deception. Oh shit. Sorry, I've been so focused on editing, I forgot to have the chat open. Alright. Good to see you, Lex. Good to see you, Watuk. Yeah, the debate, the SNL debate sketch was pretty damn good. Not gonna lie. Let's see. Alright. Come on, there we go. Hello everyone, my name is Tyson, and welcome to another episode of Kojima's Deception. In today's episode, we'll be covering the series of tweets that Kojima is calling Hideo's Musings, where he is asked a question. Hang on, what are you talking about, Lex? One interview spread across multiple tweets. I don't know what you're referring to. Oh, gotcha. Yeah. And answers a question. It's done as an image rather. Hang on. Hello, everyone. My name is Tyson, and welcome to another. Hello, everyone. My name is Tyson, and welcome to another character limit for tweets. Okay. This was going to be. I just wanted to make sure that the music was sounding fine. But he's put out so many of them that I'm having a hard time keeping up. That said, let's roll the intro real quick, and then we'll discuss. Actually, we'll make that quick, and then we'll discuss. Perfect. I don't think. I may as well put the. Oh, shit. There. I don't think many people have read into these much, but I'm seeing some interesting things in them that may hint that Kojima's preparing for some. So let's go ahead and just. May as well. At least for the opening part, it's pretty much best for me to just have some sort of blank canvas to keep people's attention. It's 3 a.m., but I'm on vacation. Good, good. It's from the original soundtrack, my dude. I don't think many people have read into these much, but I'm seeing some interesting things in them that may hint that Kojima's preparing for some sort of... Look at the names. Once there was an explosion, Alone We Have No Future, Bridges, Soulless Meat Puppet, Beached Things. Yes, it is from the Death Stranding soundtrack because Ludwig Forssell fought to make it so that content creators can use the score of Death Stranding in their videos without getting copyright claims. What the fuck? I hit enter. That is play, you shit. Sort of big reveal. Anyway, the first of the 15 musings asks the following. Which creators and actors currently have your attention? Okay, so now we're going to need like probably 3 or 4 layers because one of them is going to be the overlay with the retros analysis. But I don't do that until the very end because it gets in the way. Both in visual and in... Actually, you know, I should probably make it a habit to start editing with that in mind because the problem is that... Actually, no. I'm going to throw it in there just to have it ready. But the problem is that if I throw it in initially, then... Oh yeah, that's the analysis. Okay. What happens is that I end up focusing too much on it. But if I don't have it, then I end up having to go back through it and making sure that it's not covering up any text or anything. Anyway, so it starts about here. Following. Which create... Yep. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and just do that. And actually, I think... Here. Which creators and actors currently have your attention? Kojima responds. I'm going to go ahead and mask the question. And kind of put it center-ish. Here, well, actually, I can't use... Normally, I would just use center. But can't do that because this isn't in the center. So I'm kind of just winging it. Kojima the following. Which creators and actors currently have your attention? Kojima responds. Oh shit, that's right. I also need to add in a couple of images that I downloaded just before starting. Olafur Eliasson, I need to add the whole folder in. Or I guess I need to add in all of the pictures selected because it's going to have a shit fit if I don't do it that way. and Luca Marinelli. I only have a few pictures of Luca Marinelli, but it'll get the job done. Come on. Buns. There are many actors that I follow. Right, okay, so now I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to switch over to the white one, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to overlay it. There are many actors that I follow. Luca Marinelli recently caught my eye after watching The Old Guard and Martin Eden. He played an impressive villain in They Call Me G. And so what I do when I highlight a part of a text, whatever, like if it's a Wikipedia article or any sort of article really, I mask out what I want, and then I raise the opacity to what I think is a decent level to where you can still see the background, but you can also read what is the highlight that I follow. Luca Marinelli recently caught my eye after watching The Old Guard and Martin Eden. He played an impressive villain in They Call Me G. Grobot, but I think that he will break out soon, and his popularity... Actually, I want the... Yeah, there we go. Now it's a little bit more symmetrical on both sides. Will increase. Also, I think if he donned a bandana, he'd be a spitting image of Solid Snake. As for the creators, I would say Danish, Icelandic, and Berlin-based creator Olafur Eliasson. I have seen his works through movies and documentaries, but I have not yet been able to experience his work live. His art is essential to experience. Actually, his exhibition, Olafur Eliasson, Sometimes the River is the Bridge, is currently running at the Museum of Contemporary Art, Tokyo, which I am really interested in. I think the most obvious thing to bring up is that Kojima ended up bringing up, out of all of the actors he could have chosen, Luca Marin. I think this is about the part. Eliasson, Sometimes the River is the Bridge, is currently running at the Museum of Contemporary Art, Tokyo, which I am really interested in. Okay, so now we go ahead and just chop those off, fade those out, and generally I try and click on where the fade ends so that I can sync them up, which I am really interested in. Perfect. I think the most obvious thing to bring up is that Kojima ended up bringing up, out of all of the actors he could have chosen, Luca Marinelli. I got this clip, or this image rather, from just searching Luca Marinelli. And of course, Kojima saying that he looked like Solid Snake brought that a lot of attention. Excuse me. He looks a decent amount like Snake. I'd say he looks more like a younger Snake, but it would also help to have a bandana, so maybe if I were to Photoshop it. I'm actually kind of tempted to do that right now, just for shits and giggles. You know what? Fuck it. Let's do it. Let's open up fucking GIMP. Where is it? There it is. For the shiggles. All right, this one. And I need a good bandana. Images. Blue bandana. Not like that. The Solid Snake bandana. It brought up like some fucking some Crips bandanas. Let's see. Yeah, I'm good on making Luca Marinelli look like a Crip. Alright, I think this is a good base. It's a really high-res picture that someone made in the style of, or trying to recreate Solid Snake. So what we'll do, go ahead and just get the lasso tool. It's going to be kind of rough, but, you know, I'm not doing this for a living. This is just for, again, the shiggles. He's got pretty eyes in this one. Alright, so now I got that. I'll go ahead and cut that. Oh no! Shit! I had feather edges on. Actually, I want feather edges on, but I don't want it that goddamn high. I wanted it like 2 or 3. And welcome back to the ASMR image editing stream. Today we have a very pretty solid snake, and we're just gonna go ahead and take his bandana, rip it off his fucking head. Retro Ross. Oh shit. Hang on, let me catch up with chat. It sounds to me like he knows he is going to be Snake. Otherwise, he wouldn't have said he's gonna blow up soon. Make him a crib. L Snake. I hope he blows up his snake. Hell yeah, I appreciate this. No, this is high art. All right, so now we'll just go ahead and shrink that bitch down. We'll probably do about there. And then... Actually, yeah, we'll just keep that there. And then we'll use... smudging tool. Because why the hell not? No, not the ear. That's actually a little too much on the top. And actually, now I'm thinking about it, I want... where the hell is it? Let's just make it smaller. I think that's what I need to do. I need to make it smaller. Perfect. Like this boy got thick hair. It's gonna be a really shitty shot, but you know what? Why the hell not? Perfect. Fucking perfect. And you know what? He needs a mullet. Sorry, my sound interface decided to take a shit again. But you're right, he does need a mullet. So I'm actually gonna re-copy and paste that same snake image. And we're just gonna take the bits of mullet and add them to him. See how well that works, why not? We're gonna get nice and close and get as much detail as possible without being stupidly anal retentive. You know, I didn't even think about it until I started doing that joke ASMR thing. What if I were to do a fucking Photoshop series and just call it GIMP with Bob Ross? So, welcome back. We're gonna go ahead and just grab that lasso tool and we'll just start clicking on different areas that surround what we're trying to grab. There's no wrong answers here. Happy little hairs. Oh shit. I don't think I'd be able to take it seriously, and I'm pretty sure that that might be illegal to use someone's... Well, it would be a parody, so it would have to be something different. Retro Ross, I think that would probably be the best way to do it. Happy little snakes. Fucking awesome. Okay. Got one down. Where is it? There it is. Okay. So now we'll just go ahead and grab that. Move that on over. Shrink it down. Also gonna have to make it kind of brown. Oh, and I'm gonna have to extend it over too. That's alright. Also, I think I'm just gonna cut it off there. I might have to embellish on it a little bit too. Oh wait, actually, shit, is that? No, that would look dumb. Okay. You know what, we're just gonna, actually, yeah, I'm just gonna do that. That'll be a lot easier. And then we'll go ahead and do this. Oh, I did a little too much on the first cut. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do something like that. Yep, there we go. Now that should be about right. Okay, cool. And we'll do that again. We're getting there. Alright, so now we add a little bit of brightness, not much. We go to I'm going to try and do color balance. Let's do red and green because that makes brown. Oh wait, we want okay, that's not working. Oh wait, that's right, because it keeps the memory for each one individually. Okay, so that's pretty close. We'll go ahead and go back to brightness and contrast. Turn up the contrast. A little bit more brightness. It's a little rough. But you know what? We'll just stick with that. Actually, shit. You know what? I should leave that as it is for now. And then I need to get the other half. Oh god. Okay, let's put this on top. There we go. And then I need to get the other side. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna fucking do this lazy style. I'm just gonna duplicate and then layer, transform, flip horizontal. Bim bam boom. Oh yeah, Tingle. Tell us how you really feel, bud. Alright, so we'll go ahead and just do that. Bam, bam, bam. And then we merge down the layers. And now we'll do the brighten it up a little bit and then change the colors. Brightness and contrast, where is it? There it is. You know what? If you were to look at that at a distance, that's not bad. Hang on. Well, I see you. We'll see when they get to filming. When Deadpool did Ross, I was so weak. Yeah, that was great. Doubt they managed to pull that off. The director, Roberts, he's a fan. Honestly, Oh, and that's another thing I need to pull up for the fucking video. I might have to look around for it. Let's see. Jordan. Is this it? Yes. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and just export over that really quick. And I want all that quality, boy. Yeah. And now, bam, just automatically updates. Fucking love that shit. Okay, so now I have this clip of JVR talking about a certain device that's going to be in the Metal Gear Solid movie that he thinks is really cool. We're probably going to search through it. Oh, god damn it. Sorry about that. My audio device decided to fuck up again, so I said, you know what, it's time to just unplug it and plug it back in, see if that fixes it. Hopefully that fixes it. I'm not making any guarantees. It will more than likely fuck up again. But that said, Luca Marinelli, and I'm gonna add a little goof, little additional goof. Did I fade? I did fade that in. Okay. Behold my shitty shop. And we'll do that in the Death Stranding font, because why the hell not? Oh, I forgot that I muted myself for a few seconds. I was just taking a drink of water and I forgot to hit the unmute. Anyway, I was saying here's an additional little goop. Behold my shitty shop. Ellie, whom he stated would be the spitting image of Solid Snake. So we're gonna go ahead and add in another image of him. Whom he stated would be the spitting image of Solid Snake. That's a little suspicious, but not outstanding. And yeah, so I don't like how there's the addition of the gameplay, so we'll just crop that again. Focus on him a little bit more. Standing by itself. However, the second paragraph discussing Olafur Eliasson is interesting. Oh, wait. So now we're going to switch over to images of Olafur Eliasson. I'm going to switch over to stills really quick because it should make it easier for this part. Let's get rid of that. Okay. For Eliasson is interesting. We'll stretch that a little more. For Eliasson is interesting. And of course, do the same. I wasn't aware of what Kojima was talking about, how his art... And we'll go ahead and drag that onto there. Do about the same length. And then we'll stretch that way the hell out because it's a really tall and decently high-res picture. So we'll go ahead and go up to the top, drag over to the end of the timeline for that image, and drag down. White tingle. Easy boy. Anyway. Right, so aware of what Kojima was talking about, how his art is essential to experience at first. But upon looking it up, I understand what he meant. Here's a brief summary of Olafur from the Wikipedia page on him. Olafur... And now, I'm pretty sure I took a screenshot of the Wikipedia page, as I generally do. Yep. Oh god, that's a big one. So we'll go ahead and just drag that there. Gotta drag that way the hell up. Okay. I think that should do it. And then we'll do a second layer and do like we did before. But I want to make sure that I'm actually... is a Danish Icelandic artist known for sculptures and large-scale installation art. You know what, let's stretch this out for a bit. And we'll do the same for these. And I also need to set the preview device to this monitor. That way if I full screen it, you guys can actually see it. Employing elemental materials such as light, water, and air temperature to enhance the viewer's experience. There are two things to pull from this. The first, Kojima appreciates high art and postmodern expressionism such... Wait, hang on, so that's about where that ends, right? First, Kojima... Alright, I forget that every once in a while, when I exit the full screen, it fucks with hope. Dang, oh. God, what? You need me to pick you up? You need some love. Oh my goodness. Nope, he's just wanting to be an annoying shit, so I guess I'm just gonna start ignoring him for the rest of the stream. First, Kojima appreciates... There are two things to... Okay, so yeah, that's enhance the viewer's experience. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get rid of both of those. And, yeah, we'll just kind of experience. There are... Actually, I want to make that a little bit longer. There are two... Okay, so that's better. Now we want a very low one, or very low opacity for the top layer, and then a higher opacity for the bottom layer, and then a higher opacity for the top layer. So now we'll go ahead and again. I did say no guarantees, and you know, I may actually just switch over to my little $30 microphone that I was using back when I was living in Nevada. Honestly, I'm really hoping it's just the fucking cable, but I really doubt it's just the cable because I've taken good care of this cable, and it's this sound interface is like 10 years old, so it's very likely that it's the sound interface. Alright, so I think that's it right there. Go with about that. Let's try. Eliasson is a Danish Icelandic artist known for sculptures and large-scale installation art employing elemental materials such as light, water, and air temperature to enhance the viewer's experience. There are much better. Okay. Oh, Jesus, Alvin. Really getting on the deep end there, Alvin. God damn it. Eliasson is a Danish Icelandic is essential to experience. Actually, I think I'm going to go ahead and cut that about there. Air temperature to enhance the viewer's experience. There are two things to pull from this. The first... And we'll There are two things to pull from this. The first, Kojima appreciates high art and postmodern expressionism, such as art installations that are expressed with more than the usual. Let's see, actually, we're gonna continue using more images from his installations. Laws are just ideas, man. God damn it. There are two things to pull from this. The first, Kojima appreciates high art and postmodern expressionism, such as art installations that are expressed. We'll go ahead and and we'll go ahead and switch the direction of art installations that are expressed with more than the usual two senses of sight and sound. The other thing to Okay, so that's already simple from this is that, as I've stated in the past, Death Stranding itself is a form of an art installation. However, instead of it being a physical installation, it's a digital installation that transcends traditional video. Oh shit, I'm actually gonna have to cut this here really quick and hand that over to the right so you can actually see the full thing. That's actually not bad framing. The other thing to pull from this is that, as I've stated in the past, Death Stranding itself is a form of an art installation. However, instead of it being a physical installation, it's a digital installation that transcends traditional video games. In some ways, one could argue that I think this might need to get dropped a little bit in volume. Not much, just a little. Two things to pull from this. The first, Kojima appreciates high art, a physical installation. It's a digital installation that's what I was thinking when I saw it too, is that looks very Death Stranding, with not only the rocks but the water. The first, Kojima appreciates its high juxtaposition of dark and light, high art and postmodern expressionism, such as art installations that are expressed with more than the usual. Actually, I'm gonna just swap that out really quick. And I'm also going to do that. Oh shit. Oh. There we go. Sound. The other thing to pull from this is that, as I've stated in the past, Death Stranding itself is a form of an art installation. However, instead of it being a Alvin, if there was any Death Stranding DLC announcements, either one, I would have made a video already, or two, you would have heard about it already. You have Google. You have all sorts of different resources at your fingertips. A physical installation, it's a digital installation that transcends traditional video games. In some ways, one could argue that actually, that got a little geeky. Go ahead and just turn that down a decibel. Kojima took the insult of, "It's just a walking simulator," and added an element to Death Stranding that does... Oh, shit. Here, let's... Traditional video games. There's nothing as far as DLC that's even been announced yet. Wait, no, not restore. Center. Slow and smooth. In some ways, one could argue that Kojima took the insult of, "It's just a walking simulator," and added an element to Death Stranding that does quite literally make its gameplay the simulation of walking, as you need to maintain your center of balance with large orders or quantities of deliveries. There's so much to it that it expands outside of the world of the game itself and into our own with his social media. On the one hand, him saying there's elements of social media in it is referring to the like system, as well as emails having emojis. Nice. Alright, now let's go ahead and add in another song. On the other hand, I think it's referring to the metagame where people have to put together a lot of Kojima, but throughout all your work. Here, we'll skip forward a little bit. It's having emojis. On the other hand, I think it's referring to the metagame where people have to put together a lot of Kojima's intent by paying attention to his social media accounts, as well as those closely involved with. Now, I need to go back into Twitter on my folder of stuff. My big folder of stuff. I've got way too much stuff about this. Here we'll drag in some 1984 stuff. The Godzilla collage. The Yunker. Oh, I don't have a Norman Reedus folder. Shit. No, but I do have a Donna Burke folder. I'll just go in there. Oh, plus there's David Hayter. This is still really fucking suspicious. Like, why would David Hayter post this tweet and then delete it? It's a combination of Metal Gear and Silent Hills. There's like no fucking reason for that. I'm gonna... Actually, I might just make it the combination of those three, because those are like the best fucking... Those are the best arguments for this whole thing, I think. Alright, so... Go with every... Best feeds are made up. Into his social media accounts. It's referring to the metagame where people have to put together a lot of Kojima's intent by paying attention to his social media accounts. Oh, well, we'll start with 1984 first, because that makes sense. People have to put together a lot of Kojima's intent by paying attention to his social media accounts, as well as those close. I do not recall that. I'll have to rewatch 1984. I haven't seen it in probably a year and a half at this point. Alright, so we'll go ahead and just start up there, and then scroll down to there. Into his social media accounts, as well as those closely involved with him, namely Norman Reedus. It's entirely possible that it's not going to be in the movie. But, that's alright. Do I have... I've got to have at least one fucking picture with Norman Reedus in it. Like, there's no way that I've gone all this time without putting Norman Reedus somewhere on my computer. Oh, that's right. It's because he doesn't, he tends to be more strange on Twitter, or on Instagram than Twitter, which I think is even part of the meta, is that because there's so many different social media platforms, it tends to create a splintered and fractured you don't like the game, I have no idea what you're talking about, my dude. Gonna add a couple of little clips that Norman has posted. And here, I'm just gonna stretch this out. Well, first, let's get to the there's no real reason to fade that underneath the image. However, go ahead and add a Gaussian blur. Perfect. Okay. Oh wait, that's the wrong clip. So aside from this making me think of you know, Norman Reedus and The Walking Dead, obviously, it also makes me think of the end of The Phantom Pain. Butterfly, external gazer, a patch that kind of reminds me of Outer Heaven. Yeah, the Eye of Pete. Well, the eye, I think, is really just a reference to the external gazer involved with him, namely Norman Reedus. For the second of Hideo... Oh, and then there's this fucking weirdness, which I'm actually gonna... I'm gonna put that in first. Come on, there we go. Him, namely Norman Reedus. For the namely Norman Reedus. For the second of Hideo's musings... Actually, I think I'm gonna add a little bit of space so that I can show more of these. And back to stills. Down to David Hayter. Shit. Undo that. Oh, fuck. Please don't. Okay. For a second, I thought I just crashed Vegas. Oh, God, I hate when that happens. A lot of the time, if I go... Not a lot of the time, I'd say 1 in 50 chance. If I undo by using Control-Z, it'll actually just crash Vegas entirely. It's a huge pain in the ass when it happens. So we're going to go ahead and animate that and turn that down and remove it off of there. Perfect. For the second of Hideo's musings, the focus... And this is kind of a situation where you can really do it. You can skin a cat 100 different ways. So instead of segmenting that out, I could have also just done this. I could have separated that, removed that, and then done that. That would have worked. For the second of Hideo's musings, the focus is on the following question. But the difference is sometimes it creates a slightly different effect. For something like this, I'm not really that concerned about the effect, where it's just kind of removing the Gaussian blur. For the second of Hideo's musings, the focus is on the following question. Okay, and now we'll go ahead and drag number 2 onto there. Mask out the question. Actually, I may just leave it right where it is. Not just in Death Stranding, but throughout all your works, you include both nail-biting suspense or horror elements, such as tear-jerking emotional scenes. But on top of that, you also incorporate the essence of humor, such as having Sam take a shower or bathe in hot springs. Elements that are implemented as a natural part of the game world without breaking immersion. I think I'm actually going to go ahead and cut to that really quick. Which is cool, because then I can just go ahead and cut that, move it over here. Actually, even better, I have the whole thing right there, I think. Perfect. For fuck's sake, isn't anything private anymore? Tingle! Wait! Jesus Christ, my fucking cat. Alright, let's go ahead and add another audio track because it's kind of getting to be a pain in the ass to try and wrestle with that. Hang on, let me catch up with the chat. Norman Reedus' strangeness is probably why he ended up working with Kojima in the first place. That and the fact that Keanu Reeves was busy with what the hell? Cyberpunk 2077. I'm pretty sure that Keanu was his first choice, but ended up going with Norman Reedus. Plus, sorry. Plus, it ties in with the whole concept of, you know, why would I put zombies in it? It's a political thriller. Why would there be zombies? Even though there's been shit that's even weirder than zombies. IPT, I think The Walking Dead went on way too long. I still haven't. I got to season 5, and then I just stopped. Like, it was about the point when Negan got introduced, and it's not that it was bad, it's just that it was kind of a culmination of things because I moved out to Washington around that time. So it was 2014, I know that much. Yes, that's what... Wait, was it for Cliff? I was pretty sure it was for Keanu Reeves Death Stranding. Oh, I guess he... Wait, yeah, wait, hang on. He was originally recommended Keanu Reeves, but he wanted Mads. Interesting. So he was recommended Keanu Reeves for the role of Cliff. Interesting that in the incoming of Ghost of Tsushima update, there will be a charm that will enable your attack to make lightning. That is interesting. Anyway. Hopefully I didn't just... Okay, I didn't do that. I was hoping that I wouldn't just make the window jump over to my other monitor. Then hot springs. Elements that are... Take a shower or bathe in hot springs. We'll go ahead and cut that really quick.
For fuck's sake. Isn't anything private anymore?
Elements that are This is going to have a double meaning because, you know, it's the shower, but it's also 1984. Elements that are elements elements
Except for no, except for going to the toilet, that is.
elements Back it up. Elements that are implemented as a natural part of the game. Okay, so here I'm going to go ahead and cut that out and then have that just take over. And we'll also back it up. There we go.
I take it you were getting yourself cleaned up.
Elements that are implemented as a natural part of the game world without breaking immersion. Do you consider these aspects separately, or do they come into your mind simultaneously? Kojima responds, Of course I think about... Wait. Kojima... Okay, so now... Wait, no, that's 3. We want 2. There we go. Kojima responds, Of course I think about all these aspects. At the same time. And I'm gonna have to drag that out a bit, I'm sure. I definitely need to drag that out. Although I'm probably going to about there. Sorry, my throat's just really fucking phlegmy today. I don't mean to keep clearing. Of course, I think about all these aspects at the same time. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and move that up just a tad. The reason being is I don't want it interfering with the subtitles. Yeah, right? Neo chasing Sam all through the Matrix. Still love Fragile and Haig's awesome characters in Dead Man. Do fictitious characters exist in privacy? I want to use a more accurate mock-up of Luca Marinelli as Snake. I sent it via Discord. Let me take a look. I mean, that's... The point was to add a bandana. And also kind of be goofy, so... I guess just post that online? I don't know. I could just re-add the bandana in. That wouldn't be hard. As well as the mullet. But yeah, that's not bad. Using FaceApp. Whether serious plots, everyday scenes, or things that make you laugh. But I think that this is something... Actually, hang on, I'm gonna add... what is it? Mask generator. There we go. Oh, but wait. That's even worse. Shit. Okay, so what I need to do then, I need to invert the image and then use the mask generator. Good enough. Something only possible within the medium of video games, compared to something like films or TV. This, if anything, Twitter has become equivalent to Reddit porn. This is because scenes that depict eating, sleeping, or excretion are not... Oh, that's actually... I don't like how jaggy that looks. Let's, That's better. Not essential. If anything, they get in the way, since the average film is around 2 hours and the average TV episode 45 minutes. These time constraints require that each work is filled only with the scenes vital for progressing the story. Those creators are not focused on what a person's life looks like in a full 24-hour day. Instead, the characters are assumed to sleep, eat, or use the bathroom away from the cameras. Sure, there are scenes where a character wakes up in the morning or goes to bed at night, but not a complete depiction. Depictions of characters eating are cut down to the essentials, and usually, a key conversation between characters takes the focus of the scene. But video games, unlike films, are a medium that the player experiences in real time. That is why I have the cutscenes transition seamlessly to and from gameplay, without affecting the flow of time. For Death Stranding, Sam eats, drinks water, and even takes a leak sometimes. He can also take a shower or a nice dip in the hot springs, and you can actively make him go to sleep. Of course, you can't have sex, but there are other games out there where you can. This is all based on what the player chooses to do, and you need to incorporate these elements or else the game will be a bit strange. Games are one kind of a virtual reality. If you're following the channel, you'll know that... Alright, I guess that's where it cuts off. If you're following the reality. Okay, and we'll just have them fade to about there. Games are one kind of a virtual reality. If you're following the channel, you'll know that my theory with Death Stranding is that it's part of a quantum-based simulation, and that Kojima... Oh, let's see, do I have... I think I already have the image in here. Yep, okay. It's part of a quantum-based simulation. And we'll go ahead and start down here and then move up gradually. I'm not answering that. That sounds incriminating. Alright, so we'll go ahead and just drag that out. It's part of a quantum-based and of course it's part of a quantum-based simulation, and that Kojima has been hinting at themes of the Matrix with Death Stranding. This comes in many forms, but I think the most blatant was this clip. Oh, and now to shrink that way the hell down. And move that. We'll move that over here to about the halfway point so that I can put it where it should be. Fade that out. In many forms, but I think the most blatant was this clip mirroring the and now I need to go to video. I'll get the clip of Kajumbus. Opening scene in the first Matrix film. where Trinity puts her hand up to the glass in the phone booth, almost like she's trying to stop the truck from hitting. Actually, I'm gonna have that full speed and then move that up there. Trinity escapes. Go ahead and delete that, and then grab just the last bit. They were written by an Yeah, I still think this is sus as fuck. Forms, but I think the most blatant was this clip mirroring the opening scene in the first Matrix. And we'll back that up a little bit so that it has some. I think the most blatant was this clip mirroring the opening scene in the first Matrix film, where Trinity puts her hand up to the glass in the phone booth, almost like she's trying to stop the truck from hitting her before she gets pulled out of the Matrix. And let's go ahead and ungroup that. Copy that. And okay, that's already fine. Oh, pro tip, if you're trying to make it about half the size, drag it to where the dot is on the bottom of it. Or the top of it in this case. Bam. It's not perfect, but then you just you know, it's a lot easier if you have two monitors, and I do, but in this case, I'm just gonna kind of, oh, come on, shit, there we go. I'm gonna expand the top one a little bit so I don't have to deal with the bottom one. Oh, that's right, okay, let's do that. And the main thing I want is for the hand to be at the same time. Kojima is in Trinity's shoes. Instead, Kojima is in Trinity's shoes in a mock-up of the scene. There's in a mock-up of the scene. Actually, here, we'll slow that down just a good amount so that it's not all, you know, people can get the detail that way. And we'll go ahead and add in some Gaussian blur. Bam. Thank you, Watto. Pulled out of the Matrix. Instead, Kojima is in Trinity's shoes in a mock-up of the scene. There's also the blatant examples of the game breaking the fourth wall, literally putting the player... Shit, that was funny timing. Breaking the fourth wall while the fucking truck is plowing through the wall. Oh, I love shit like that. That's part of why I love editing, is because then just happy little accidents. That's you know what? Retro Ross in the fucking building. What up? Oh my god, fucking love it. Hinting at themes of the Matrix with Death Stranding. This comes in many forms, but I think the most blatant was this clip mirroring the opening scene in the first Matrix film, where Trinity puts her hand up to the glass in the phone booth, almost like she's trying to stop the truck from hitting her before she gets pulled out of the Matrix. Instead, Kojima is in Trinity. Hang on, let me take a look. Nice. Actually, you know what? I like it. I'm gonna go ahead and replace it. Kojima. Oh, other way. Luca Marinelli. Snake. Shit. Get me back to the live stream. There we go. And so that you guys can see it too. Actually, here, I'm gonna replace the image, and then you guys will see it after that. Replace. That. Come on. The fuck. There we go. And now I can actually get rid of that because now it's not my shitty shop. It's your shitty shop. No, it's actually a good shop. I will match that and perfect. Thank you, Lex. Very nicely done. Here, let me go ahead and add in a little credit for you. Do you want Lex Radu? Do you want Michael Payne V? What handle would you like? Oh shit. Damn it. Here, I'll just we'll make that about twice the size. Perfect. And placement, go ahead and do minus 0.75. Oh shit, no, I want just regular 0.75. There we go, perfect. Actually, it's a little too big now. Because I don't want it to cover up your work. Actually, even better. What I'll do is, you know what? Fuck that. Instead of using the numbers, I'll just drag it around. And I'll drop it down just a little bit more. There you go. Luca Marinelli, whom he stated would be the spitting image of and just so that people aren't like, what do you mean shut? There. Or here, I'll change it to mock-up. That way there's no real question of what the meaning is. A what? A what? A what? Cool. Alright. Back to what we were doing. Whatever, you've cleaned it up. Okay, I'll just fucking now you're gonna make me do it. I gotta do it, because otherwise it's not true. I hate that shit. There. With aid by FaceApp. Are you happy now? Oh my god. Oh yeah, you're probably right. Not really too much I can do. You know what? Here we'll do this. It's not bad. It's a little cropped off, but it's not bad. Fitting image of Solid Snake. That's a little suspicious, but not outstanding by itself. However, the second paragraph discussing... Alright, and actually, now that that's that, I'm going to move that a little bit more to the left, that way it's not hugging the outer edge so much. Okay, cool. I did not want to go all the way the hell out there, Jesus Christ. Let's go ahead and get rid of those, because I don't need all that. And let's just review this segment again, just to make sure that it looks fine. Oh, that my theory with Death Stranding is that it's part of a quantum-based simulation, and that Kojima has... I'm going to stretch that out just a tad, and I just wanted to make the Stranding is that it's part of a quantum-based simulation, and that Kojima has been hinting at themes of the Matrix with Death Stranding. This comes in many forms, but I think the most blatant was this clip mirroring the opening scene in the first Matrix film, where Trinity puts her hand... By the way, just to give you guys an idea of how much better this computer is than my last computer, which I only got last month, I think it was, like the beginning of last month. This stream would be fucking impossible. Editing has been was a huge pain in the ass because in the timeline, everything was really choppy. It's a little bit choppy now, but it's totally doable by comparison. And trying to do that and stream it, no fucking way. So this is 100 times better than anything I would have been able to do before. So moving forward, streams are going to be so much better. Hand up to the glass in the phone booth, almost like she's trying to stop the truck from hitting her before she gets pulled out of the Matrix. That looked a little choppy. I'm not sure if that's even there. It kind of... Oh, that's why. Okay. Much better. Instead, Kojima is in Trinity's shoes in a mock-up of the scene. There's also the blatant examples of the game breaking the fourth wall, literally putting the player in the story in a way that's very show don't tell. Yeah. The camera blinks, Sam looks at the camera. Oh fuck, now I gotta get examples of camera blinking and shit. The camera blinks. The camera blinks, Sam looks at the camera, and if you make him angry, he'll even punch the camera or spray beer at the camera. I'm just, instead of doing that right now, I'm just gonna make a note of it, and I'll come back to it later. Don't tell. The camera... Show don't tell visual context. Okay. Camera blinks, Sam looks at the camera, and if you make him angry, he'll even punch the camera or spray beer at the camera. In an email, one of the characters says that they're an AI. Sam, I have a confession to make. I'm not here. Never was. And this, I really need... If anyone here has it, Lex, if you have it, I need a fucking screenshot of this. Like, otherwise I'll need to completely finish the game again on PC, or go back to the PS4 version and 5-star the roboticist, because she's the one who says this part. My child, a lie. When you spoke with my hologram all those times, you imagined I was inside the shelter, right? But you never saw me. And the mails you've been receiving? They were written by an AI construct based on my archived data. Hang on, really quick, let me go ahead, emails, or Death Stranding, emails. Mail, it's just called mail, that's why. We aren't really here. I'm going to go ahead and send a link to the email there. So you can, that way you have the name of it, you can see what the text says, and that might help in the search for it. Had no idea, did you? Thought I was alive and well? I am, in a sense. Since I'm nothing but ones and zeros, I can't die either, so long as the generator you brought me holds out. Guess I found a way to outlive the stranding. Ha! Not really. I'm still kicking. Still waiting to see you come over the horizon with another delivery for little old me and mine. Until then, old friend, don't be a stranger. Hell, even Mads Mikkelsen grabs the camera and directly addresses the player if it's their birthday when they're playing. This I can grab really quick because I already have it in the project. Player if it's their birthday when Hell, even Mads Mikkelsen grabs the camera and directly addresses the player if it's their birthday when they're playing. I'll play that cutscene here. Oh, well, shit. Okay, I forgot that I said I'm gonna play the whole cutscene. Okay, so we'll drag that over here. It's their birthday when they're playing. I'll play. Oh, shit. It's ungrouped. There we go. I'll play that cutscene here. And we'll go ahead and just grab those. Bam, bam, boom. Cutscene. And give that a good cutscene here. Actually, let's give that a little bit of breathing room too. Here. 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 I'll play that cutscene here. Much better, okay.
See these? You do know what day it is today, don't you? Is it Mommy's birthday? Is it BB's birthday? No. But today is a very special day, all the same. A special day for a special someone. You may have forgotten, but I haven't. Happy birthday.
That's still such a fucking trip to me. Actually, let's cut that there, ungroup, delete, and give that a quick fade. Back over, and give that a good fade in, fade in. Those are just... Those are just a couple of examples, but I'll try and make this as apparent as possible in the upcoming refresher and crash course for Kojima's Deception. Anyway, my point is for that, just so you guys are aware, I'm just going to call it a crash course on Kojima's Deception. And the goal is going to be to not only bring up all of the things that I think are still relevant, but also to organize it in a way that every topic will be near each other. So if it's talking about the simulation, it'll be in one topic. If it's talking about Silent Hill, it'll be in one topic. If it's talking about Metal Gear, it'll be in one topic. And also, I'm also thinking of making a flow chart so that it'll be easy for you guys to track where everything's going and why it's going where it's going. And yeah. Forgotten that he will be coming back. I don't know what you're referring to. I'm sorry, what took? Those are just a couple of examples, but I'll try and make this as apparent as possible in the upcoming refresher and crash course for Kojima's Deception. Oh shit, I also didn't even think about this until now. Anyway, my point is the final sentence Kojima says.
You may have forgotten, but I haven't. Happy birthday.
You talking about that part? The you may have, but I haven't? Or are you talking about a special day for a very special someone? Those are just a couple of examples, but I'll try and make this as a... Okay, gotcha. Those are just a couple of examples, but I'll try and make this as apparent as possible in the upcoming refresher and crash course for Kojima's Deception. Anyway, my point is the final sentence Kojima says, that games are one kind of a virtual reality. I think this is almost even more definitive that Kojima... Go ahead and... hand that over. Slow and smooth. So it's even more definitive that Kojima was going for or smooth and slow. I always fuck that up, I don't know why. It's even more definitive that Kojima was going for Death Stranding. Oh shit, I went a little too far over. To be based in a simulation. This... Okay, so that's about... there-ish. Oh wait, gotta do the same. Smooth and slow. This is part of how Death Stranding is an art installation. How it defies what a video game actually is by redefining the word game, by defining his thoughts on word game. Word game, by defining his thoughts on play, word game, by defining his thoughts on play via Huizinga's concept of the magic circle. This is actually shown in Death Stranding. Here's me reading one of the emails that displays this. That displays this. I think... I'm not sure if I actually have that still. It's under temporary render folder. Well, here, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set a note like I did before. In Death Stranding. Here's me reading one of the emails that displays this. Okay, so this, I'm going to go ahead and just... Nope, wrong one. Huizinga Ludens Magic Circle. So what we're going to do, we're going to give that a lot of breathing room. Like, a lot of breathing room. Well, 4 minutes should be plenty. And then I can just move it back. So as you can see, my speculation from part 5 of Kojima's Deception about the use of the concept of the magic circle wasn't unfounded, and aside from the concept of Ludens, Kojima is clearly trying to make video games a more viable medium for games that are considerably higher art than anything we've seen in the past. Check out this clip of Alana Pierce talking about how Kojima wants his upcoming horror title to have Actually, I think I'm going to go ahead and add in... So we're going to go like... We're going to go like 25 minutes out. That way I can't... What is this? Oh, I guess that's just an audio clip that was stray. So what I want is I want to throw Kojima's Deception into the timeline. Because this is the one where I'm talking about, at least the one where I initially talked about the magic circle. Whoever tipped off philanthropy knew how it would play out for the events of the big, considered a shield of sorts, Copplethorne, the Big Shell, and the S3. Did I just assume Otacon is working for the Patriots by a simple retconned extended universe oversight in Metal Gear Mobile? It's not hard to imagine. Huey and Strangelove were his parents after all. His sister Emma was the final touch to building a few spin-off titles, as well as MG games. Despite not making the spin-offs himself, the idea of the Copplethorne engine was Kojima's himself. This is the point where I've actually been told that this could be wrong, but I'm going to leave it anyway, because I know in the very least that it is a concept that Kojima believes in wholeheartedly. Despite not making the spin-offs, because if he didn't, then it wouldn't have ended up in MGS2, and it wouldn't have been a huge part of the VR missions of Ghost Babel, which not only Ghost Babel is referenced in MGS2 in the main storyline, but also I discovered when doing more research about Ghost Babel that Hideo Kojima actually wrote the story for Ghost Babel. So, in essence, it is canon. But there's going to be a lot of people who would argue against that, of course. Despite not making the spin-offs himself, the idea of the Copplethorne engine was Kojima's himself. This is the point where Cypher really comes in, the concept of the magic circle. Trust me, this is actually pretty damn good stuff here. This is from the wiki article about it. In games and digital media, the magic circle is the space in which the normal rules and reality of the world are suspended and replaced by the artificial reality of a game world. As noted by Edward Castronova in Synthetic Worlds, the business and culture of online games, the boundary delineating this space can be considered a shield of sorts, protecting the fantasy world from the outside world. Instead of being impenetrable, however, an examination of contemporary virtual worlds reveals that the magic circle is actually quite porous. More directly, there appears to be a relationship between virtual worlds and the outside world. Even though virtual worlds display a range of attributes that are unique to their realm, they also exhibit characteristics deriving from the outside world. Castronova uses the term synthetic world because a synthetic world cannot be sealed completely. People are crossing it all the time in both directions, awesome. Carrying their behavioral assumptions and attitudes with them. As this suggests, elements of synthetic worlds are being evaluated in terms of their importance in the outside world. These newly established values subsequently gain significance on both sides of the membrane. Thus, it becomes difficult to determine the meaning of the word virtual. As stated by Castronova, the allegedly virtual is blending so smoothly into the allegedly real as to make the distinction increasingly difficult to see. The creation of the term magic circle has been attributed to Dutch historian Johan Huizinga, born 1872, died in 1945. In Homo Ludens, a study of the play element in culture. Huizinga wrote, "All play moves and has its being within a playground marked off beforehand, either materially or ideally, deliberately or as a matter of course. Just as there is no formal difference between play and ritual, so the consecrated spot cannot be formally distinguished from the playground. The arena, the card table, the magic circle, the temple." I'm gonna go ahead and let this play out. I have to go and grab some water. I'll be right back. "The stage, the screen, the tennis court, the court of justice, etc., are all in form and function playgrounds, i.e. forbidden spots, isolated, hedged around, hallowed, within which special rules obtain. All are temporary worlds within the ordinary world, dedicated to the performance of an act apart. However, Johann Huizinga never really said that a game is a magic circle. What he said was that a magic circle, like many other cultural activities, may have game-like characteristics. The term magic circle was coined by Eric Zimmerman and Frank Lantz in 1999, and popularized by Eric Zimmerman and Katie Salen in 2003. Eric Zimmerman admits in his 2012 essay, Jerked Around by the Magic Circle, clearing the air 10 years later, writing, "The magic circle is not a particularly prominent phrase in Homo Ludens, and although Huizinga certainly advocates the idea that games can be understood as a separate part of everyday life, he never takes the full-blown magic circle point of view that games are ultimately separate from everything else in life, or that rules are the sole fundamental unit of games. In fact, Huizinga's thesis is much more ambivalent on these issues, and he actually closes his seminal book with a passionate argument against a strict separation between life and games. The magic circle is not something that comes wholly from Huizinga. To be perfectly honest, Katie and I more or less invented the concept, inheriting its use from my work with Frank, cobbling together ideas from Huizinga and Kailoi, clarifying key elements that were important for our book, and reframing it in terms of semiotics and design. Two disciplines that certainly lie outside the realm of Huizinga's own scholarly work. But that is what scholarship often is, sampling and remixing ideas in order to come to a new synthesis. Cypher steps in about here. Homo Ludens is an important part of the history of game studies. It influenced later scholars of play, like Roger Kailoi. The concept of the magic circle was inspired by Homo Ludens. It is based on Durkheim's distinction between the sacred and the profane. While it did not play a central role in Huizinga's thinking, it was later popularized and expanded by Katie Salen and Eric Zimmerman in Rules of Play within game studies. We can always tweak the rules a little. Up is down, left is right. Death is life. It's like the Matrix, where people inside it can actually see the... In hindsight, I should have just left this as the radio effect, but I don't know, I still like it. The apocalypse happening right before their very eyes. The man would have an entirely different team that isn't led by him. Make a game based off his notes, whilst Kojima then disavows having anything to do with them at all. There are no limits to his meta. An MGS game designed by another team is just another way of how he implements these concepts, slowly over time. The idea of alternative realities, each with different dev teams, being its own layer within a simulation core. In this case, the Copplethorne engine. People truly underestimate just how much this man thinks outside the box. He lays the foundation before he scatters the pieces. What if Kojima really has been thinking about this since the beginning? What if he sought an idea to make spin-offs by other developers, relevant to the overarching plot of the entire franchise? No end to the virtual labyrinthine. Just another door. Chapter Chapter. Okay, so now we'll go ahead and cut that there. I just realized it's probably gonna get fucking claimed because I used New World Order's what the hell is it called? I can't think of it. Shit, I can't think of what it's called. Anyway, I used a song that's copyrighted for that part, so it may end up getting claimed, and it's more than likely going to get claimed. I may end up having to redub it, but we'll see. I'll fuck with it in post. Because there's going to be parts of editing that I'm not going to be doing streaming, because it's going to be like the polishing and trying to circumvent the YouTube copyright system. That said, let's go ahead and drag those back over, because I wanted just about 4 to 5 minutes. Thank you so much for this snapshot, dude. I was looking for this forever. Oh shit. All right, and let's go back to stills. My child, a camera blinks, Sam looks at the camera, and if you make him, one of the characters says that they're an AI. I think that's Sam. Yep, okay. Yeah, that's just too awesome. My archived data. Had no idea. Since I'm nothing but ones and zeros, I can't. Ha! Not really. Until then, old friend, don't be a stranger. Until then, old friend, don't be a stranger. Hell, even Mads Mikkelsen grabs the camera and directly addresses. That is kind of funny. This is the player if it's their birthday when they're playing. I'll play that cutscene here. Okay, cool. What time is it? I'm gonna probably go for another half hour-ish. So that'll be probably up until about the 15-minute mark. So given that we have a little over an hour total, it's probably going to be 4 or 5 more streams. EJ's the last stop for me. Be turned to think Kojima wanted us to carry to future and echo the messages in our creations. Yeah, that's pretty much, I'm in kind of the same boat. Though I'm not going to stop at TGA alone. I'm probably going to stop around February or March next year at the very latest. But we'll see where things take us, you know. Okay, well, that's cool. That'll at least give you a little bit of time to get ready before you have to go to work. Alright, and I'm gonna go ahead and grab, what the hell is it? There it is. Excuse me. There we go. And cool. Despite not making the... Oh, I gotta stretch that out. So as you can see, my speculation from part 5 of Kojima's Deception about the use of the concept of the magic circle wasn't unfounded, and aside from the concept of Ludens, Kojima is clearly trying to make video games a more viable— oh wait, yeah, I need to get that clippage. But yeah, even if this all ends up being fan art, or fan fiction rather, I do have plans to move forward and still talk about Death Stranding, but I'm also going to continue my Movies That Don't Suck series because that's a series that is equally as important to me at this point. So as you can see, my speculation from part 5 of Kojima's Deception about the use of the concept of the magic circle wasn't unfounded, and aside from the concept of Ludens, Kojima is clearly trying to make video games a more viable medium for games that are considerably higher art than anything we've seen in the past. Check out this clip of Alana Pierce talking about how Kojima wants his upcoming horror title to have elements that will interact with you in the real world, like sending you texts in the game. Okay. And we'll give that some breathing room, about 5 minutes, although it's not going to be nearly that long, I know for sure. It'll just make it easier for me. Yeah, that's pretty much the main reason that I'm still I'm sitting here going, why are we still here? Just to suffer.
Hello friends, I'm Alana and welcome to my channel, where today I wanted to talk a little bit about basically what I heard about Silent Hills. I tweeted about this a while ago. It made a few headlines because I realized that this information hadn't really spread, but it was basically like some insider info that I got probably 2, maybe 3 years ago. Developers in general might pitch things to people. Konami in an Instagram story. So people keep talking about, this article's from April 9th, about if Silent Hill—
Here, I'm gonna just— that's probably gonna be where I'm gonna start it.
So people keep talking about, this article's from April 9th, about if Silent Hills is coming back.
I mean, that's not the only spark. There's a good handful of other sparks, which is why there's going to be a Kojima's Deception Part 7, as well as the crash course on Kojima's Deception. But that is pretty much the most recent and one of the bigger sparks that are like, it might happen. I don't know. Honestly, on the topic of the re-releases, I really, really hope that Konami gets their head out of their ass and decides to re-release Silent Hill 2, but furthermore, talk to the team who did Silent Hill 2 Enhanced Edition and pay them for their work, and then implement it officially into the GOG release, which can then be released on Steam as well, because CD Project, whatever. I've heard it pronounced both ways at this point. I'm just going to say project because I'm a filthy American. Anyway, yeah, they are very passionate about releasing older games in the best possible way that is accessible to the masses on modern operating systems. Anyway.
This is an update about how Silent Hills basically brought on a prominent Japanese horror artist who posted something at Konami in an Instagram story where they also posted something to do with Silent Hills. This is a pretty big deal. It says, as spotted on Reset Era, or Reset Era, I still don't know how to say it.
Reset Era. Come on.
Artist shared an intriguing pair of images on his Instagram account, along with the caption, "Afternoon invitations, hope you'll join." But yeah, this has been, you know, a rumored thing for a fair amount this year, which obviously for anyone who doesn't know, when Kojima left Konami, basically the idea of Silent Hills existing fell apart. So, let's just get to it. Let's just get to what I heard. I was basically told that Silent Hills would kind of interact with you in the real world. Of course, through development, all of these things could change. They could have like scrapped this idea entirely because it's very complicated. I'm also not 100% confident in my source, and I did say that when I tweeted anything about this, but some outlets decided to run with it anyway. It's not that that source doesn't have that information, it's that I suspect that that source has lied about a few things to seem like an interesting person, which is a whole other thing. So basically, it was that you would have to sign a disclosure, an agreement, when even beginning to play the game, which, you know, some games do anyway. They make you accept something before you're actually able to play the game. But with Silent Hills specifically, it was because it would interact with you outside of the game, even when you weren't actually playing the game. It would do things like potentially send you text messages, send you emails. There was an idea that was floated that
Moya, whatever, you've been fucking just hitting the grindstone hard, man. So I know it's important that you get the game done, but you did get your successful Kickstarter. So pretty much at this point, I would just say, aside from working on getting the game done, also balance for self-care so that you don't burn yourself out and make yourself not even want to finish the game. That's important, man.
I'm not sure how solidified it was, that for anyone who has smart lighting, if you paired it basically with certain apps, that it might be able to flick your lights in different colors or play with your lighting while you were playing the game to add extra atmosphere, which I absolutely love the idea of happening anyway. I would love it if games would do that. But that maybe it would look like you were getting some kind of anonymous contact.
I mean, that's the big reason why I took 2 weeks away from streaming, is, you know, I was really not okay. And granted, it wasn't because of streaming, it wasn't because of editing, it was because of things outside of content creation. But that doesn't change the fact that it affected content creation. So I thought it was important for me to take that time.
From a character within Silent Hills, through emails, through text messages, through potentially even social media. They would have conversations with you, or potentially like just threaten you in strange ways. I feel like this is a legal nightmare, no matter what. It just seems to me like, regardless of how they would make that contact happen,
fair.
If they were going to send you threats and it wasn't obvious that it was from Silent Hills, and they tried to make it as immersive as possible, which you would think would mean they weren't going to explicitly tell you that it was tied to the game and like sign off and be like, love from Konami. I just don't feel like you can send people fake threats. But if you sign a disclosure that waives your right to complain about all of that, then maybe you can. I don't know. I could see it being a thing, and one of the reasons that I gave it kind of any credence really at all was that you might have seen, like, I think Ninja has one. Some influencers have these text message services where they advertise as like, text me to chat with me or whatever. I could see Konami doing a thing where maybe they would charge you for the text messages. So it would become profitable for them because you would get charged a certain rate per text you sent, for example. Or per text they sent, rather. Or maybe the emails would include links that would, you know, send you to, like, merch or pre-orders or something like that. Because they would have to figure out a way that it would benefit them, that would undo the potential legal issues that would come from this. But, you know, it also could have just been an idea that was floated by Kojima, which is the part that I think does make the most sense to me. I can see Kojima wanting to pursue this kind of multimedia experience where you're playing Silent Hills and also being haunted by Silent Hills when you're not playing the game. That does seem like something that he would pitch or want to do. Whether Konami would let him or not, or be able to or not, is a whole other thing, but that was supposedly the idea was floated. There were some conversations about things like deleting or playing with save data, or maybe even changing the way that your PS5 like background looks, like just really like creating a bunch of glitches on the console that weren't really there while you were playing the game. But I wouldn't think that would even function on PS4, so maybe that would function on PS5 differently. Still seems pretty unlikely to me. I know you can do that on PC. There are games that have done that on PC. I'm not going to mention what games they are, because when you figure out that it's happening, it's actually very cool. So I wouldn't want to tell you to play that game with that hook, if that makes sense. But that's not something that hasn't been done before. It has actually been done quite a number of times. But I don't believe it's ever happened successfully on console, which is a whole other thing. But yeah, I wanted to highlight this article particularly from...
Okay, I think that's pretty much about where I'm gonna cut that. And we'll go ahead and slap that in there. Cool.
a whole other thing. On console, which is a whole other thing. On console, which is a whole other thing.
And she's kind of wrong because it has been done on console. It's just that the only example I can think of off the top of my head is Eternal Darkness from the GameCube. And yeah, that game. If you've never played Eternal Darkness, that's it's a strange game by today's standards, but it is a very unique and interesting experiment in video game design. And it's by the same guys who made the Twin Snakes, which is even more interesting in my mind.
Console, which is a whole other thing.
Personally, I don't think that it's going to straight up be sending texts from an automated service, as A, it would make the game finite on the chance that the all choppy there, buddy. Service gets shut down. B, it would be excluding those who don't necessarily have phone plans with texting at the moment, or unlimited texting. I myself use Ting, which charges by usage rather than a flat rate. And C, it would be more of a hassle to set that up than what I think would be their solution. Remember how MGSV had the companion app like so many games like Grand Theft Auto 5 tried to use to enhance the game experience? Imagine a horror game with a companion app that you give permission to do. I'm fairly certain Eternal Darkness came after. – 2002, yeah, so that was after. So I'm pretty sure MGS2 was 2001. Yep. So yeah, it was a year after. It could have been a case of parallel thinking though. That's pretty common in game design, movies, TV shows, writing, painting, everything. Everything that's related to any sort of creation, even inventions. Do shit like take control of your phone. Or it could have the false appearance of looking just like your wallpaper. Or almost like another thought, it could have been that, you know, Konami was in talks with Silicon Knights before they started making it to talk about them recreating MGS1 in the MGS2 engine. It's like a launcher app on Android in order to call you or text you. Of course, you'd have to consent to use the app, as anyone with heart complications could be scared to the point of a life-threatening situation. Also, of course, if anyone has major mental illnesses, that would be part of the disclaimer. On PC, it would be a lot simpler to accomplish. Let's zoom that out and accomplish something like this that wouldn't even require a companion app. We've seen games that fuck with the player by closing out of the game, windowing the game, and putting a file on the desktop, and so on. However, if Kojima is going to partner with Sony again for his upcoming title, I would think an app would be necessary. Oh, hell, I need some more music for that. Hell, even if he were to make it cross-platform, an app would be necessary for an effect like that. I think it would be more important this time to make sure it works as intended, however, as I had some problems trying to use the companion app on the Xbox One version of the Phantom Pain. Anyway, let's move on to the next of Hideo's musings. The third question for Kojima is the following. What was your... Okay, so let's go ahead and get the... still up there? What was your first part-time... Give that a little bit more of a fade, drag that out, and mask. Time job. How did that job help you in your role today? Also, are there any other jobs outside... Actually, bothering me that the top isn't quite symmetrical with the bottom. There we go. Outside of those in the game industry that you have done? And if so, which ones do you remember the most? Hideo responds with, going to stretch that out preemptively because it's probably going to need a bit of room. Go ahead and drag that way down, drag that about there, and give that a mask as well. That should be good enough. If PTO was released on something like Game Pass, we probably wouldn't have found out as much as we did. I don't really know what you mean by that. I mean, it was a free demo, but I don't know. Do you remember the most? Hideo responds with, "My first part-time job was filming videos for wedding ceremonies, which I started after graduating high school." Streaming services top us from that's actually not a bad theory. I'm not gonna lie. That's a pretty good theory, bro. My high school prohibited students from working part-time jobs. I worked that job until I graduated from university, so every weekend and holiday for 4 years. I had to wear a suit and jacket every time, which gave me a taste of what it was like to be a salaryman, full-time office worker, even though I was still a student. Towards the end, I also became a veteran staff and would teach newcomers to the video crew how to shoot. I also did some other jobs, but usually worked at one place for a long time instead of jumping from one thing to the next. What I remember most is working as a part-time live-in gardener during extended spring, summer, and winter holidays in university. It was quite a tough job physically, but I gained so many interesting experiences. I learned not only how to plant, but also how to design a garden, where to put a bamboo fence, how to organize rocks. Things you would never know unless you worked this kind of job. Also, one time I was stung by at least 10 bees all at once, and another time I got lacquer poisoning. In addition, my boss instructed me to never decline any offering from a client, or invitation to eat or drink, as this was how you showed respect for their courtesy. So I remember one time I fell off a tree after drinking beer that I was offered, and another where I had to throw away my packed lunch on a day the client served us lunch. Whether as a wedding cinematographer or live-in gardener, these part-time jobs helped teach me the spirit of omotenashi hospitality, the spirit of how to please customers. I think that the spirit helps me in the game creation that I do today. Looks like I was actually not too far off with my initial estimate. As far as when that would need to be cut off. Okay. In the game creation that I do today. This one initially seemed a little harder to derive meaning from, aside from just sharing anecdotal experience. It's the last paragraph that really explains what it is for me. More specifically, the last couple of sentences. These part-time jobs helped teach me the spirit of omotenashi hospitality. The spirit of helped teach me the couple of sentences. Oh, come on. What? No, that's not what I want. God damn it. Thank you. Okay, so now we'll go ahead and move that upward. And we'll go ahead and just make that fully opaque. Perfect. These part-time jobs helped teach me the spirit of omotenashi. These part-time jobs helped teach me the spirit of omotenashi hospitality. The spirit of how to please customers. I think that this spirit helps me in the game creation that I do today. I think it's easy to say one thing that could be considered an alternate way to see the spirit of how to please customers in the context of video games. Actually, I don't really want the Beached Things song. Yeah, we'll go with the Face of a New Hope. Okay, there. These part-time jobs helped teach me the spirit of omotenashi hospitality. The spirit of how to please customers. I think that this spirit helps me in the game creation that I do today. I think it's easy to say one thing that could be considered an alternate way to see the spirit of how to please customers, in the context of video games, or any artistic medium for that matter, is fan service. What can be seen as the ultimate form of fan service is the classic crossover. Whether it's an episode, a made-for-TV movie, a feature film, a DLC for a game, or a full-blown game, crossovers have been around for a long time and seem to only be heightening in popularity as we see more produced to this day. We've seen it in countless examples from across the globe. Archer having an episode where Archer is in a fugue state and... Let me see if I can get an image of that. No. Archer, Bob's Burgers. It's a crusty picture. I don't want that crusty picture. That's better. Where Archer is in a fugue state and thinks he's Bob from Bob's Burgers as John Benjamin plays both characters. Freddy vs. Jason, which I'm about to bring up, is not a very good movie, but it is a thing, so I'm bringing it up because it makes my point of the fact that these were very popular and continue to be popular. Versus Jason, Alien versus I'm trying to find ones or images that fill up the whole screen. That way I don't have to, Actually, you know what? Fuck it. I'll just do this. Add the goddamn Gaussian blur. Don't want your crusty pictures. Give me better ones. You know what? That'll do it. Not great, but it'll get the job done. Alien vs. Predator, Marvel. What? Thank you. I loaded up the picture, but it only loaded up like a little tiny bit of it. Marvel vs. Capcom. Marvel vs. Capcom. Super Smash Bros. Basically being the Super Super Smash Bros. Basically being the ultimate crossover, but the list can go on for a long time. Crossover, but the list can go on for a long time. A very recent and relevant example that has been the topic of the list can go on for a long time. A very recent and relevant example that has been the topic of much discussion and speculation is the inclusion of Silent Hill in Dead by Daylight. The school... And let me go ahead and go over to the Dead by Daylight store so that I can get a screenshot I need. Actually, here, what I'm going to do is get the page URL and paste that there. And we'll do a selected scroll. Oh, shit, didn't want the whole fucking thing. That's good. The whole screen, why the fuck not? Actually, let's refresh. Okay. Where is it? There it is. Inclusion of Silent Hill in Dead by... Oh, also I need to get another song. Let's see, I did The Face of Our New Hope. Let's do John. Why not? I am also far behind. Oh, never mind. I'm a couple messages behind. It made me think I was far behind because it scrolled up a little bit. Suggestion, footage of Sam delivering fits better with the please customers part. I'll think about it here. Let me, where the hell is it? I'll set a memo. Footage of Sam delivering to fit with message. The school and Pyramid Head both of Silent Hill in Dead by Daylight. Okay, so let's go ahead. Track that down. Yeah, the Silent Hill edition is the reason why I'm kind of sitting here like, that's kind of abnormal. They don't have like a Stranger Things edition, you know. But I don't know. Silent Hill in Dead by Daylight. The school and Pyramid Head both being from Silent. Gotta go slow and smooth. Oh wait, no, it's the other way around. Shit. Smooth. Oh. Wait. Silent Hill 2. The school and Pyramid Head both being from Silent. Nope, I had it right the first time. The school and Pyramid Head both being from Silent Daylight. The school. That's bizarre. Well, let's add some keyframe interpolation. Why not? Daylight. The school and Pyramid Head both being from Silent Hill 2, and Heather being from. And let's go ahead and look up Dead by Daylight Silent Hill. That's actually a perfect image for what I need. It's a 1080p. What is it? There. Being from Silent Hill 3. Both being from Silent Hill 2. The school and Pyramid Head. Actually, here's what I'll do. Conclusion of Silent Hill in Dead by Daylight. The school and Pyramid Head both being from Silent Hill 2, and Heather being from Silent Hill 3. Smooth. It seems like as years go by, more and more we see these examples of crossovers, often for the same. Years go by, more and more we see these examples of. Years go by, more and more we. It seems like as years go by, more and. A little bit more breathing room. It seems like as years go by, more and more we see these examples of crossovers, often for the sake of fan service. Alright, man. I'll talk to you later. Yeah, I can kind of see that happening in Archer. These are clear examples of fan service. One thing that was stated by Kojima, translated by Ken in regards to death. Here, we're pretty much at the point where we're gonna stop, so I'm gonna go ahead and make a bookmark. Yeah, so we're a half hour through, and with what we've added already, we're going to have at least an hour and 25 minutes. So, I mean, we have plenty of work to do. Like I said, we probably got 4 to 5 more streams of this, so probably I should have most of the groundwork done by the end of the week. Actually, it might be 3 or 4 instead of 4 or 5, because the rest of the week I should be starting at 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and that'll be a good 3 hours to get work done. So let's go ahead and get to the post screen, and yeah, that's it for tonight's stream, you guys. Thank you all for joining me. I really appreciate your company, and I hope that you guys are looking forward to this as much as I am to releasing it. One thing that I'm actually looking forward to with this video is that I'm actually going to be releasing it obviously I'm going to be releasing it on YouTube, but I'm going to be posting the video on NBGO as my way of going back to NBGO. And the difference is that I'm going to be taking my mental health much more seriously, because I guess I didn't really know what to do in order to make sure I'm taking care of myself. So this time I'm not going to engage in arguments the way that I was before, and things will just be a lot better. I'll be able to share it with the audience that cares, for whoever is remaining there that cares, and I'll be able to go back to a community that I actually do kind of miss, even though they're a bunch of bastards. And I say that lightheartedly, you know. I mean, there are a bunch of bastards there, but it's a fairly large community. You get a few bastards when you get to like 10,000 or so. So, I'm done rambling for the night. Again, thank you all for joining me, and I will see you all around 1 or 2 p.m. tomorrow. So, I'll go ahead and set... Well, no, I'm not going to go ahead and make a... I'll make the... actually, you know what? Yeah, I'll go ahead and make a scheduled stream for tomorrow, so that for whatever time zone you're in, you can go ahead and click Sent Reminder, and it will let you know when I'm getting ready to start. So, until tomorrow, you guys, this is RetroHellspawn, signing out. Have a good one.